somebody made a video about one of my videos, I guess. So here we are.
Now, I may or may not be a teeny bit of an Arkham Batman glazer, but by no
I
means
get
am I
you.
obsessed with the character or anything. It's not like I would yap about him for
No.
minutes on end and praise the man like crazy. That could never be me for real.
Who the fuck would do that? Oh shit.
It's always time to defend my glorious King Arkham Batman and how he, in fact, is not a bad depiction of the character in any way, shape, or form. Obviously,
Okay.
this isn't hate to the Adam Smith or anything. He makes pretty good
big
videos,
thank.
so there is no malicious intent here. I just respectfully disagree.
I love you.
Respect.
I'll show you some parts of the video. I mean, yeah, I guess Batman in Arkham City didn't really save that many people if you neglect him saving the countless political prisoners throughout Arkham City, saving
Okay.
Vicky Vale from getting shot by a couple of Joker
That did happen
snipers,
that one
saving
time.
Jack Ryder twice in the
That did
beginning of
happen
the
that-
game,
those
and
2 times.
prevented. He also saved the numerous cops who were captured by Penguin in the Iceberg Lounge. There was that one nurse who was hiding from the Tiger Guards and a
True.
bunch of other goons underneath Wonder Tower when Batman was in search for Ra's al Ghul's blood, saved Catwoman and the person Matt had her kidnapped in that other side mission. But
You got me there.
Batman didn't really save that many people in the game.
One of the
No,
biggest
you were.
things it's always
you right.
future editing Adam here to interject for what will likely be the first of many times.
I just wanted to put out there that while this is valid, and Bruce certainly saves plenty more people than I had originally realized, I think my point about the way he treats them is still very valid. He goes to Selina for intel. He talks to the people in the Iceberg Lounge for intel. Let's see who else was there. When it comes to Vicky Vale and the nurses, though, it seems like that might actually just be completely true. He just kind of saves them and doesn't really get much out of it. Anyway, back to the video.
Victor Zsasz,
He just calls him an animal. It does not seem very heroic, Bruce. It doesn't seem like you're viewing these people as people, obviously. You're kind of calling them animals.
Maybe because Victor Zsasz is a serial killer? I'm not sure why Batman, or anyone for that matter, would go out of their way to convey empathy or compassion for a guy who literally places his victims in specific poses after killing them and leaves tally marks on his body for every single kill.
This point gets brought up a couple times, so I'm just going to answer it a bit later in the video. And by later in the video, I mean actually right at the end. I'm not even capping, I just realized. Stay until the end of the video. Another moment that shows that Arkham Batman is not a great Batman was one that I didn't even realize until very recently, funny enough. The ending of Arkham City when he goes to save Talia instead of the entirety of Arkham City. Okay, everyone's been coming after me in the comments because I said that he does go after Talia first. He doesn't go after Talia first. I got it wrong. Sorry. Miswording on my part.
By this logic, Peter Parker from Marvel's Spider-Man is a selfish prick during the whole Devil's Breath crisis when Aunt May ended up getting sick.
It took me a while to reason out why, but I think these decisions feel very different, even though they are very similar. I think the Arkham City Talia scene feels brutally out of left field after Bruce had spent 2 games being the unfailing savior of Gotham City, and he just almost decides to throw it all away, even if this had, at the time, been the hardest night of his life. Bruce and Talia also don't really actually mention that they've spent that much time together. They literally talk about one single night that they had together in Metropolis, and not much else. The League doesn't train Bruce to our knowledge in this universe either, so we really don't know that much more. I gotta say, I have a big problem with the assumptions that happen in the comments. People are like, oh, we only see Bruce on his worst nights. We have to assume that he's better on his other nights. Like, no, we don't. We see how he is on these nights, and we don't see how he is on these other nights. So why the hell would we assume things that we don't see? It's a massive fallacy. I think on the opposite end, Peter's moment is perfect. It's the embodiment of him fulfilling Spider-Man's, motto, the saying that the character goes by in every single canon of with great power comes great responsibility, or must come great responsibility, or whatever the actual real saying is in the comics. And it just makes sense for this to occur. Whereas for Bruce, it just feels brutally out of character. It doesn't make sense for the writers to put him in that scenario. Also, the comparison of Talia, who Bruce at minimum had a one-night stand with, versus the woman who raised Peter Parker after who God knows where his parents are. This would be like if you compare Alfred dying and Aunt May dying, sure.
Another example of Batman not being selfish in the Arkham games is when Bruce figured out in Arkham Origins that Bane knew his identity and was about to immediately go to the Batcave to make sure Alfred was safe, but he had to stop Firefly before he could do so.
I appreciate you bringing up a time when Bruce regresses because it gives me a chance to talk about how good Arkham Origins actually is. So the whole point of Arkham Origins is for Bruce to go from being this angry, I want to beat the shit out of people vigilante to I trust my allies and I want to help people sort of hero, right? That's the whole point of the game. And then we go to Arkham Knight, and how does he treat his allies? And we go to Arkham City, and how does he feel about saving people? Whatever, man.
I kind of fail to understand how Tim gets treated poorly in that one rooftop scene in Arkham City right after Batman puts a tracker on one of Talia's elite guard. All Batman does is reassure Tim that he'll be fine and that Tim is better off helping with the literal fact that Joker's infected blood was sent to countless hospitals in Gotham. He's not pushing him aside because he thinks he's lesser than.
I had it under control. Why did Alfred send you?
He was worried about you.
Take this.
As he should be. Bruce almost dies. Robin being here could be really helpful. I guess this is a good use for him, but he could also just, like, send the fucking Batwing to send the sample to the Batcave to have Alfred do it. Because to be honest, we don't even know where Alfred goes for, like, half the campaign, right? So it's like, why couldn't he analyze some blood? And then he basically says he doesn't need him the entire rest of the game. And I mean, theoretically he doesn't. He doesn't die. He just, like, literally looks at the gates of heaven and has to drink Lazarus juice in order to live. I'm just saying, Tim would have been a valuable asset and Alfred could do blood stuff.
While Batman did kind of get carried away with what was done with Tim, it wasn't out of spite or thinking Tim wasn't deserving of being put out into the field. He is genuinely terrified of what could happen to Tim and doesn't want to risk him getting hurt out there or worse.
Then why do you put an able-bodied kid that you've trained for like half a decade into a cell? It's not clear thinking.
Not to mention, Batman throughout most of the narrative was exposed to Scarecrow's fear toxin, making his fear of turning into the Joker and losing the ones he cares about amplified by like 11.
I mean, I guess the fear toxin thing is valid, but it doesn't necessarily. It's kind of just an excuse. Somebody being drunk and getting into a fight doesn't make them immune to the charges of having committed assault, right? He does end up losing Tim from shoving him in that cell, though, right? He doesn't seem to care about most people. I feel like this can be displayed in his side characters, especially.
Definitely a tiger because he has the eye of the tiger.
He does have the eye of the tiger.
Are you sure about that?
Show me otherwise. Oh, this.
You're Robin, Jason.
The one scene.
I found Jason.
You didn't find Jason. Jason found you. Is this kind of undermined by the fact that he doesn't ever look for Jason before? Like, I mean, it is a good moment because he is reaching out a hand to Jason. Like, I can't lie. But the first thing I thought of was, man, it'd be a lot better if you did this to the kid that was in the asylum, getting his shit kicked in by Joker, rather than the kid that had already got his shit kicked in by Joker a trillion times. It is a good moment, though. I'll admit that. If you know that the Joker has Jason, how the fuck don't you search Arkham Asylum? Like, what the fuck? And within 6 months of giving up on his clearly very investigative and thorough search, he just replaced it with a different Robin. 6 months! And I'm not talking like 6 months and then, like, you know, he started training Tim. I'm talking 6 months and Joker shows Jason a picture of Tim in the field. Like, dude, I like, what? Did Bruce give him like a week? Clearly, he cared for him a lot. He didn't look for him and he replaced him pretty swiftly.
Bruce literally sacrifices his secret identity in order to save Robin and Jim Gordon when they were captured by Scarecrow at the end of Arkham Knight, and was willing to fake his death to protect the ones closest to him.
That's definitely a very selfless thing.
Again, I'm not sure why one would need to show empathy to the freaking Batman's rogues gallery out of all things. These people in question are either superpowered psychos or regular mofos who consistently put innocents in danger for their grand schemes. Should Batman show empathy towards Professor Pig, who experimented on people and made them into his dolls that couldn't feel any pain, or when he killed people? What about the Warden in the Killer Croc mission in the Season of Infamy DLC? I mean, he experimented and tortured Killer Croc and other thugs for his selfish desires. Deacon Blackfire literally tried to sacrifice Jack Ryder for some ritual. Should Scarecrow have a good old talking to, despite the fact he wanted to engulf the entire east coast of America in fear toxin?
So the reason that I think that Bruce should feel some sort of empathy for these criminals is because most of them aren't just criminals by choice. I mean, it's not like most of Batman's villains chose to be villains anyway. Most of them were forced into it thanks to their past trauma. I mean, Two-Face, Joker, Clayface, and Killer Croc are all brutally easy examples of this, seeing as they literally have cosmetic damage from said past trauma. But even more psychologically damaged criminals like Harley, Professor Pig, or yeah, even Victor Zsasz, who are highly skilled individuals in their own rights, but use these skills for gross evil rather than good. And I personally believe Batman is best when he believes that anyone can change for the better, even people like Zsasz or Pig. That these people can one day use their past trauma for good rather than evil. Like him. Otherwise, what's the point of the no-kill rule? In this case, it just becomes selfish. If Zsasz can't change, he deserves to be killed, not just taken back to Arkham. Bruce is murdering more people by giving Zsasz, Clayface, Croc, Two-Face, Harley, and the Joker than he ever would if he simply stopped the Joker's crime spree then and there.
All the people I've murdered by letting you live.
I never kept count.
I did.
There are some stories where Bruce seems to have other reasons for the no-kill rule, like how he thinks that he wouldn't be able to stop from killing people, and that just doesn't sit right with me. I really don't like the idea that Batman doesn't kill people just because he seems to think he'll keep killing people. That's just gross. It's not heroic. If Bruce is just one bad day away from finding a way to use his trauma for good, perhaps his villains could have been one bad day away from doing the same. And no, I don't think Batman should just have a stern talking to with these people. No, I think he has incredible amounts of resources and could find them help from places other than the people that are abusing them at Arkham Asylum or the people that want to fucking murder them in Arkham City.
I can agree, however, that they did hoe Nightwing in Arkham Knight, especially with that Harley Quinn boss fight, as well as when he got captured or held at gunpoint twice by the Penguin.
Oh man, they really fucked Dick over, bro. It's so sad.
This nigga is trash.
He never feels like the same Bruce Wayne that we get to see in the animated series. He's not playful and funny and charismatic. He's dark and brooding and rarely has the chance to do anything but take the world seriously.
While Arkham Bruce Wayne certainly isn't as fleshed out as the animated series, saying Bruce Wayne was just cold to everyone around him or that he wasn't charming or funny is just simply incorrect.
In a few moments, Bruce Wayne will be live on stage to explain his sudden interest in Gotham politics.
He does
The
have
infamous
this line.
Playboy millionaire has never been one to...
Billionaire, Vicky.
Is there more I'm not
Millionaire
thinking of?
So last year.
Please.
This world seems to be after your title as Gotham's biggest philanthropic industrialist.
Gotham needs more people like him.
Bruce!
Hey,
I am blown away by your support.
it's well deserved. You're going to change the world, Ferris.
Hey, we'll change it together, right?
I feel like Origins is just 10 times better than the other Arkham games when it comes to getting Bruce just to be a person once again. So, yeah, valid. Props to you for using Origins, where I totally feel like you're correct. And City, once again, shockingly, where he almost doesn't seem like a man for the rest of the game. He just seems like a tool. Not in like a bad way, but like a tool for justice.
Say that beating up thugs is the only thing he cares about in these games, and having that mentality is kind of disingenuous to the arcs and stories the character went through in the Arkham series. Him not showing compassion to literal
Fucking what arcs? I just don't get his arc. He just becomes colder.
psychotic murderers or calling them animals doesn't make him any less of a character, which is shown through the countless people he's helped and saved over the course of the series. Sure, the Bat family definitely should have been more prominent.
I think it could be counted. Don't think it would be more than 50. Okay, so I was very wrong. So I asked a couple buddies of mine to help me go through and count every single person that Batman saved in the Arkham series. Massive thanks to FCAB, Kiosk, and Storm King. Massive thanks to FCAB, especially for playing through not just, I believe it was Origins that he played through first, but also Night. Legends, for real. Yeah, so Batman actually saves a shit ton of people. I just didn't remember it. Look at this. Hang on, let's get a total count. Maybe I'll just scroll through this all so you guys can see it and pause if you want. But I'm gonna do some quick math. Okay, so 28 in Asylum, it looks like. So thanks again to Kiosk for doing Asylum. Let's go over to my non-pictured count of City, which I just put together a rough count on while I was doing a playthrough on Twitch recently. Speaking of which, go follow me on Twitch. But yeah, we got 60 people in this game. And there was one guy you could have saved, but I assume that Bruce is not gonna save optional people. Also, there's like a trillion people he already saves anyway, so the one number isn't going to change too much. Going over to Origins, we'll do it in release order. Oh, he put in. Oh no, he puts the amount of people we save. Oh no. Oh my God, look how far I can scroll. Oh no, we got halfway through and we're at side quests. Mad Hatter Thugs, if we count them. Oh no, that's 17 people in one mission, bro. I said it couldn't be over 50. I think it was over 50 in just city alone, actually. Dude, he really got screenshots for all this shit too. He's the fucking GOAT. Holy, Kev is truly a legend. Oh my God, wait, and we're probably saving all the thugs we inevitably end up saving from death on the bridge too. Oh my God, that's 30 people. Okay. Warden Joseph again. Oh my God, how much was that in main mission alone? Oh my God, in main story alone, that was 80 fucking people. Oh, holy shit. Sure. 82. $20? Oh no, that's a side mission again. No. Oh my God, I'm so fucking wrong, bro. That's 120 in Origins. Oh no. That's 208 pre-night. We're fine here. Look at this, it's so pretty. FCAP really killed this shit. My God. Holy shit, that's 29 people in one sequence. Man, I feel like sequences like where he saves that many people. No, it counts. It fucking counts. Like there's it wasn't what I was picturing when I was saying saving, but it's not like he's not saving people, right? But we also weren't counting things like the Cloudburst or things like Arkham City because those were totally uncountable. Like you can't count the impact that Bruce had from stopping Protocol 10, right? Like we have no idea how many people died versus lived versus what the total population of Arkham City was. We have no idea what the entire population of the Eastern Seaboard was, nor do we have any idea what the mortality rate of the fear toxin stuff would have been if it would have gone through its full course. So we didn't really count stuff like that, but it is wild because there's some stuff where it's like a lot. There's still a lot of people. Oh God, the firefighters, dude. Okay, and with Nora Freeze in the DLC, which me and FCAP had to talk about this too. We did all the DLCs last. So according to our version of Arkham, Nora Freeze is going to be the last person you end up saving in Arkham canon. And that's going to make it 293 people. That's only almost 6 times what I thought it was going to be. Holy shit. My God, man. Okay, maybe Arkham Batman does save a lot of people. Okay, so although I still cannot say that I like the way that Bruce treats the people he saves a lot of the time, I certainly don't know that I can defend my point that he doesn't save a lot of people throughout the games. It certainly doesn't feel like it at times, but he certainly does save a shit ton of people. 300 is a huge number of people to save over the course of 4 games, and we didn't count Blackgate either. Keep in mind, this is not a perfect number on how many people Batman saved in the Arkham series. This is super opinionated. We had to decide on so many different instances on if Bruce was saving somebody versus if he wasn't. There were some where he would like save a dude and then thugs would immediately rush the dude again and try to kill them. So it was like, did he save them twice versus saving them once? Do we count the thugs that are planting the bombs on Firefly's bridge who's probably gonna die if Firefly blows up the bomb? But yeah, massive thanks to M Enterprises. Strangely enough, this was a ton of fun. I just really appreciate the fact that it was friendly, or at least civilized, and not excruciatingly hostile, really, in any way.
Yeah, it's been fun. I enjoyed this. Seriously, thank you a ton. If we end up getting a response to the response video, that'd be hilarious.
Big thanks again to FCAB and Kiosk and Storm King for helping me count out the people that Batman saved again. That was an excruciating task, and I only did a fourth of the workload. So yeah, thanks again to them. Seriously. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed it. All right, thanks for watching.